Hello?
Hi, Caroline. It's Ben.
Ben! Hey, this is a surprise. I thought you were in Hong Kong.
Well, I was. I came back a week or so ago with my mum.
Is your dad still there?
Yeah. My parents broke up some time ago. But listen, Caroline, I don't want to go into all that right now, if that's okay. Tell me, how are things with you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. But what made you think to call me?
Well, believe it or not, I bumped into Matt this morning and he mentioned you. So I thought I'd give you a ring.
Oh, that's nice. Funnily enough, I was thinking about Matt the other day too.
Oh, yeah? And Caroline, guess what? Matt's going out with Joanne Willis now.
Yes, I know.
She was always a bit full of herself, as I remember. Between you and me, I think Matt's crazy to be going out with her.
Oh, come on, Ben. Give people a chance. I know Joanne used to be a bit difficult, but she's turned into a really nice person now. In fact, we're pretty good friends.
Really? I'm sorry, Caroline. I didn't mean to.
It's okay, Ben. Listen, did Matt mention the party tomorrow evening?
Yes, he did actually. I'm thinking of going along. He said you were going too.
Yeah, I'll probably go. Although Matt'll play all that indie music.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It isn't my favourite either. But it'll be great to see you again. You know, catch up on things.
It'll be good to see you again, Ben. But the real reason I'm going is because I'm a bit worried about Matt.
Really? Why?
Well, the fact is, Joanne told me he's in a bit of trouble. Something to do with money.
Oh? That's funny. He didn't say anything to me about any trouble.
Well, he wouldn't, would he? After all, he hasn't seen you for a year or so. Oh, look, Ben, I've got to go. See you tomorrow at Matt's place.
Absolutely. I'll see you there, Caroline. Take care.
Bye, Ben. And thanks for calling.
My dream is to go into information technology. My school doesn't teach much IT, but I've been doing a programming course at home in my own time. I think a job in IT will be very challenging, but that's what I like. New things to try, to learn. I hope to go to the States and live and work there. Maybe Silicon Valley. That's where the well-paid jobs are. And a good salary's important, isn't it?
I've always wanted to be an engineer. That's what my father does. I need a university degree, of course, and that's fine. I've already started learning, though. My father invites me to come with him sometimes, so I've been spending my holidays watching what he does. It's fascinating. I can't wait to be an engineer myself.
A lot of my friends have decided to study IT at university. They think they can get well-paid jobs that way. I'm not sure. It's not always easy to do well in that area, because there's a lot of competition. I've been thinking about working in banking. It's not very exciting, I suppose, but I think it's a safe career. That's important for me. I've written letters to 3 or 4 banks to see what kind of opportunities they have.
My future job? Well, I know I want to work with children, maybe teaching, because I think it's probably a very rewarding job. You're helping people, you know. I know it's usually badly paid, but that's not the important thing for me. I've been visiting a primary school for the last few weeks on work experience, and it's been really interesting. Yeah, probably teaching. Dad, can I speak to you for a minute?
Sure. What is it, sweetheart?
Well, I've got a gig with the band. We're going to play at the ballroom.
Oh, that's fantastic. When?
In a couple of weeks. We're going to open for Muse. They're really famous, you know.
Oh, wonderful. I know Muse. They're great. I hope there's free tickets for us. Jeanie! Oh, that's great news, Claire. You must be really excited.
Well, there is one more thing.
Yes?
Oh, hi, Mum. Well, I've been thinking, now that the band's getting some success, I'm not sure I really want to apply for a job.
So, you mean you want a career as a singer?
Well, I mean, I know that this is difficult to understand, but, yes.
You're right, it's difficult to understand. It's one thing to have a hobby. Singing's not a bad hobby. But if you seriously think you can...
Now, hold on, Jeanie. You should be pleased for Claire. Muse are a great band.
Thanks a lot, Mum. It's really nice to have your support. I'm going out.
Oh, now look what you've done.
You're a great help, aren't you? You just want to be a pop star dad. So, tell me, why have you applied for the job of sales assistant at PC Paradise?
Well, I've always been interested in computers. My parents bought me one when I was 7 and I spend hours on it. Also, I think I have the right qualifications. I like working in teams and I'd love to work for your company.
I see from your CV that you have experience as a sales assistant.
Yes, I had a Saturday job at Tech World while I was at school. Then, when I finished college, I got this job at Computer City in town. I've been working there as a sales assistant for more than 2 years. It's been great. The problem is, there doesn't seem to be any chance of getting a better position there. You know, maybe assistant manager?
Would you be interested in training to be a manager?
Well, yes, definitely.
OK. Tell me a bit about your qualifications.
I've taken various courses in computing. I did IT at school, of course, and then I did programming at college. I'm also doing a part-time web page design course 2 evenings a week. I thought about doing IT at university, but I wanted to start work.
Right. Are you still at your present job?
Yes. I've been thinking about resigning, but people say it's much better to find another job while you're actually working.
That's true, and it's not much fun being unemployed.
Hey, Ben. Matt. All right, mate. How's life?
Yeah, good. How's things with you? I haven't seen you for ages.
Yeah, that's right. I think the last time we saw each other was, well, probably our last day at school.
That seems a long time ago. So, what about you? Where have you been all this time?
Well, I've been away. I've just got back from Hong Kong. My dad got a job there after we left school. So we all went out there to live. I've sort of lost touch with everyone.
Matt, look, I bought a... Oh, Ben, hi. Long time no see. How are you?
Hi, Joanne. I'm fine. I was just telling Matt about Hong Kong.
Yeah, I heard you went there. What was that like?
Oh, it was pretty good at first. But things didn't work out between Mum and Dad. So I came back with my mum.
Oh. Sorry to hear that, Ben.
Yeah, well, what can I do? Anyway, so what are you two doing with yourselves these days?
We're both at college, but I'm kind of hoping to find a job in music somewhere.
Yeah, our band broke up, you know. I'm probably going to university next year. I don't know yet. What about you?
Oh, I'm not working at the moment. I don't know whether to try and go back to college or get a job. Nothing yet, though.
Something will turn up.
Yeah, things will work out. Anyway, listen, mate. We've got to be going. Let's meet up sometime. Well, actually, I'm having a party tomorrow evening, if you're interested.
Yeah, Caroline's coming. Do you remember her?
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, why not? It's great that I bumped into you two today. I wanted to look you up, but I don't have your numbers anymore.
Here, I'll give you it now.
We've got to be going. Well, nice seeing you again, Ben.
Yeah, it is really good to see you too.
See you tomorrow, mate. Take care.
Well, hello everyone. I'm Phil. I don't want to make fun of Samantha, but I have to say that I disagree with a lot of what she says. First of all, she talks about destroying the town. Well, this new hotel has got nothing to do with destroying the town. It's to do with bringing the town into the 21st century. We need to make progress here. I'm sorry, Samantha, but the old factory site has been bought by other developers, and a new sports centre will be built on that land. Now, isn't that a great idea? Isn't that better than having a piece of park for children to play in? I think it is. And I think that a new hotel will make a big difference to the town. More tourists will mean more jobs and a better life for everyone here. This plan will do the town a lot of good. We should be supporting the idea, not fighting against it.
Hello?
Hi, Caroline. It's Ben.
Ben! Hey, this is a surprise. I thought you were in Hong Kong.
Well, I was. I came back a week or so ago with my mum.
Is your dad still there?
Yeah. My parents broke up some time ago. But listen, Caroline, I don't want to go into all that right now, if that's okay. Tell me, how are things with you?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. But what made you think to call me?
Well, believe it or not, I bumped into Matt this morning and he mentioned you. So I thought I'd give you a ring.
Oh, that's nice. Funnily enough, I was thinking about Matt the other day too.
Oh, yeah? And Caroline, guess what? Matt's going out with Joanne Willis now.
Yes, I know.
She was always a bit full of herself, as I remember. Between you and me, I think Matt's crazy to be going out with her.
Oh, come on, Ben. Give people a chance. I know Joanne used to be a bit difficult, but she's turned into a really nice person now. In fact, we're pretty good friends.
Really? I'm sorry, Caroline. I didn't mean to...
It's okay, Ben. Listen, did Matt mention the party tomorrow evening?
Yes, he did actually. I'm thinking of going along. He said you were going too.
Yeah, I'll probably go. Although Matt'll play all that indie music.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It isn't my favourite either. But it'll be great to see you again. You know, catch up on things.
It'll be good to see you again, Ben. But the real reason I'm going is because I'm a bit worried about Matt.
Really? Why?
Well, the fact is, Joanne told me he's in a bit of trouble. Something to do with money.
Oh? That's funny. He didn't say anything to me about any trouble.
Well, he wouldn't, would he? After all, he hasn't seen you for a year or so. Oh, look, Ben, I've got to go. See you tomorrow at Matt's place.
Absolutely. I'll see you there, Caroline. Take care.
Bye, Ben. And thanks for calling.
Ellen, perhaps you could tell us about your latest project.
Well, at the moment, we're working on a project to build a new boat. A trimaran.
A trimaran? That's a boat with 3 hulls, yes?
That's right. And this one's going to be a bit different, because usually trimarans are about 20 metres long. That's because there are lots of sailing races where the rules say that you can only have a 20-metre boat. But this one's going to be 25 metres long.
Won't that be a problem?
No, it won't be a problem, because we aren't going to use the new boat for races. We're going to use it for solo round-the-world records. Records like the 24-hour record, the transatlantic record, and perhaps the round-the-world record.
I see. So, do you have any limits on how you design and build this new trimaran?
Sort of. We can use any technology we want, but it's important to think about safety too. I mean, it has to be a boat that I can sail alone. It's the most important part of the design process, to make it bigger but still manageable for one person.
When will it be finished?
Well, they're starting in 4 weeks' time, and it's going to take about 7 months to build. Hopefully, it'll be finished in December.
So, why are you building the boat in Australia?
Because it'll be summer there in December. It means that when the boat's launched, we'll be able to train and sail it every day if we want to. The weather is much better there at that time of year than in Europe.
Yes, I can imagine.
Anyway, then we'll bring the boat back to Britain, by sea, you know, and then I can learn about the boat by sailing her.
Well, Ellen, we wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Reality TV began in the early 1980s when a Japanese television company made a series of programs called Endurance. Starting with thousands of contestants in the first show, the program presenters made them do really difficult and/or unpleasant things every episode. The presenters made fun of the contestants, too. Viewing figures in Japan were enormous. In Survivor, 16 people are taken to a remote island and made to stay there for more than a month. They have to find their own food or go hungry. The producers let the contestants take one luxury item each. Every 3 days, one contestant must leave the island, and the last person wins £1 million. It's not just adults who take part in these shows. A television series in Britain in 2003 called That'll Teach 'Em took 30 teenagers and put them in a fictional king's school, where they lived for 1 month and received 1950s-style tuition. The pupils were made to wear thick 1950s school uniforms, including a school hat, during the hot summer, and they had to do a long run every day. They made us have cold showers, and we had to have our hands checked every day to see if they were clean, says one pupil. We weren't allowed to take anything from our modern lives into the school. Although there was no prize money in this program, the teenagers learned a lot from the experience. In 2004, there was a program in Britain where contestants were not allowed to sleep for 7 days to try to win £97,000 prize money. The winner was 19-year-old Claire Southern. Shattered had many complaints from viewers. But where will it stop? Programs like this are broadcast all over the world. But there are people who think that these programs degrade both the contestants and the viewers, and feel that contestants are often made to do dangerous things to make good television.
And now it's my pleasure to welcome Dr. Anna Forbes, a specialist in body language.
Thank you.
Dr. Forbes, is it easy to know what is going on in someone's mind by reading their body language?
No, quite the opposite. Let me give you an example. If someone crosses their arms when they're talking to you, it could be a sign that they're feeling insecure and protecting themselves. But it might also mean the person's just very cold. So it's just not that easy, really.
I see.
90% of what we say isn't verbal. It's your body language, your gestures, expressions, eye contact and touch that does most of the talking.
So how can I communicate better by using my body language?
Well, for example, through mirroring. Just watch two friends sitting in a cafe. Whatever one person does, the other one does too. If one person leans forward to say something, the other one leans forward too. If one sits back and takes a sip of their drink, so does the other.
Right, but isn't it a bit annoying?
Well, maybe, but the theory behind mirroring is that we like people who are similar to us. If someone is doing what we're doing, we feel they're in harmony with us. We like being with them.
That's interesting. Can you tell us another secret?
Well, try the eyebrow flash.
The eyebrow flash? What on earth is that?
Well, scientists have found out that when we first see someone we're attracted to, our eyebrows go up, then down. If they're attracted to us too, they raise their eyebrows in return. Never noticed? It's not surprising, since the whole thing lasts about 1/5 of a second. Some experts say it's the most instantly recognized non-verbal sign of friendly greeting in the world.
So how can I use it?
Well, when you meet someone you like, raise your eyebrows for up to 1 second. In this way, your body is telling the other person that you like them.
Before we say goodbye, any other tricks you can tell our listeners about?
Well, they're not tricks really. The most attractive people in the room make others feel attractive and interesting. Their bodies say, I hear you, I like you. Lots of nods, gestures, eye contact, and most important of all, a nice, warm smile.
Some people can live to be nearly 130 years old. But what are the secrets of old age? What can we do to help us to live longer? We interviewed people in Cambridge to see what they thought.
Someone told me it's good if you sing a lot. A lot of people have breathing problems when they get old, and singing is a good way to help.
Doesn't make any difference what I eat. I think that unless I do some exercise, I won't live very long. I can't even run for the bus without getting tired.
Have a laugh. Have a bit of fun. I think until people realise life's not so serious, they can look older than they really are.
Well, I think keeping your emotions inside can make you ill, so when you're angry about something, you should tell someone. Shout, maybe. I don't mean hit someone or anything.
OK, now listen.
sit in the sun for 20 minutes a day, do a crossword to keep your mind busy, eat lettuce at night to help you sleep, go to bed at 10 o'clock, and don't worry about anything. If you do all those things, you'll live as long as me.
There are, however, those who believe that it doesn't really matter what we do to our bodies.
My name is Guzda, and I'm visiting my cousin and her English husband in Birmingham. I like the cafes and shops in the centre. It's very different from Izmir, where I'm from in Turkey. I don't like the rain, but it does make everything beautiful and green. I love England.
I'm Marco, and I'm here for the game. I'm a big Bayern fan. I never miss a match in Munich. I think English football is much better than it was, but the German teams are still the best in Europe. I like the way some people dress here, like me, a lot of black clothes. But the food is terrible. I can't wait to get back to Germany.
I'm Chris, and I'm here on holiday with my wife. We're from Little Rock, Arkansas, and we just love this architecture. The castles, those pretty little houses, Buckingham Palace. We sure don't have anything like this back home. You guys sure have a lot of history. But what we really don't like is the public transport. Your buses and trains are just too crowded.
I'm Rebecca from Caracas in Venezuela. I'm having English lessons at a school here in York. I'm staying for 6 months, and I think I made a very good choice to come here, because it's such a beautiful city. I love English music, and there are a lot of CDs I want to buy. But the only problem is, England is very expensive.
Deaf teenagers Orlando Chavez, 16, and Herman Resendiz, 17, have been friends since kindergarten. Together, the two boys, who go to Escondido High School in California, have had the difficult job of learning in schools where the majority of the students can speak and hear. Orlando lost his hearing at the age of 1. Herman was born deaf, and his parents moved from Mexico to find a school where he could learn sign language. He met Orlando on their first day of kindergarten. We were in a special class with about 25 other deaf kids, Herman remembers. Before then, I didn't know I was deaf and that I was different. Being young and deaf in regular classes was very hard, signs Orlando. The other kids didn't understand us, and we didn't understand them. But we've all grown up together, and today I'm popular because I'm deaf. Kids try hard to communicate with me. Some things are very difficult for the two boys. We can't talk on the phone, so if we need help, we can't call an emergency service, Herman signs. And we can't order food in a drive-through. Despite their difficulties, the two boys have found work putting food in bags at a local supermarket. They got their jobs through a workability program designed for teenagers from local schools with different types of learning disabilities. Herman has worked in the supermarket since August, and Orlando started in November. The other people who work here have been very nice to us, Orlando signs. They even sign sometimes. At first, we were nervous, but we've learned a lot, and we're getting better. The opportunity to earn money has been exciting, both boys said. After high school, they hope to attend the National Technical Institute for the Deaf in New York.
There has been some controversy recently concerning reality TV programs. Shattered was the program in which people had to stay awake as long as possible. The question is this reality TV or humiliation TV? Does it put people's health at risk or risk psychological damage? To talk about these questions, we've invited Dr. Martha Wright into the studio. Dr. Wright is a social psychologist. Dr. Wright, do you think that programs like this humiliate the contestants?
Well, I think there's a risk of that. But in this particular case, no, I don't think so. I don't think there was any humiliation at all.
So, do you think reality TV shows like this one are okay?
Well, I certainly don't enjoy them. I only watch them with professional interest. I think it's a shame that people enjoy being on these shows. People don't have to become contestants on these programs. They aren't made to do it. They choose to. And if they want to, they can leave.
But don't these programs put people under enormous pressure?
Yes, that's the whole point, of course. That's what viewers want to see. But in this case, the contestants weren't doing anything very extreme. I mean, there are lots of people in various situations who don't sleep very much. They survive very well.
Do you think the contestants in this program will suffer bad effects?
Not really. Well, perhaps for a few days, but they'll be absolutely fine. And I must say, I think the contestants were fantastic. If there is a risk at all, I think it's more to do with the way the winner handles the momentary fame of being the winner. Going without sleep might have a short-term physical effect, but that's not very difficult to deal with for young people like these. But fame, that's another thing altogether. There are lots of people in sports, in cinema, on TV, who find it very, very hard to deal with fame and money.
Is there any limit to what the program makers will think of? What can we expect next? A hunger program where people mustn't eat for a week until they're starving?
Well, I hope never to see that one. And actually, people have complained. The producers know this. I think they'll be a little more careful in the future. It's really important not to upset viewers too much. Otherwise, they won't watch anymore.
Well, let's see. Dr. Wright, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ellen MacArthur started sailing when she was 8, going out on sailing trips with her aunt. She loved it so much that she saved her money for 3 years to buy her first small sailing boat. When she was 18, she sailed alone around Britain and won the Young Sailor of the Year award. But Ellen really became famous in 2001. Aged only 24, she was one of only 2 women who entered the Vendée Globe round the world solo race, which lasts 100 days. Despite many problems, she came second in the race out of 24 competitors, and she was given a heroine's welcome when she returned. Ambition and determination have always been a big part of Ellen's personality. When she was younger, she lived in a kind of hut for 3 years while she was trying to get sponsorship to compete in a transatlantic race. Then she took a one-way ticket to France, bought a tiny 7-meter Classe Mini yacht, slept under it while she was repairing it, and then she raced it 4,000 kilometers across the Atlantic in 1997, alone for 33 days. Ellen has had to learn many things, because sailing single-handed means that she has to be her own captain, electrician, sailmaker, engineer, doctor, journalist, cameraman, and cook. She also has to be very fit, and because of the dangers of sleeping for long periods of time when she's in the middle of the ocean, she has trained herself to sleep for about 20 minutes at a time. And she needs courage. Once, in the middle of the ocean, she had to climb the mast of her boat to repair the sails. At 4 o'clock in the morning, and with 100-kilometre-per-hour winds blowing around her. It took her many hours to make the repairs. Ellen says, "I was exhausted when I came down. It's hard to describe how it feels to be up there. It's like trying to hold on to a big pole, which for me is just too big to get my arms around, with someone kicking you all the time and trying to shake you off." But in her diary, Ellen also describes moments which make it all worthwhile. A beautiful sunrise started the day, with black clouds slowly lit by the bright yellow sun. I have a very strong feeling of pleasure being out here on the ocean and having the chance to live this. I just feel lucky to be here.
After 2 years fighting in the war, Hugh Davis was finally going home. As the train was traveling through the hills and valleys of Kentucky, Hugh thought of his mother's homemade apple pie and his faithful old dog Shep lying beside the fire. It was already dark when the train arrived at the local station. It was raining hard, and a strong wind was blowing. When Hugh came out of the railway station, Shep was there, waiting for him. The man and the dog were happy to see each other. Hugh patted his dog on the head, and together they started the 3-mile walk home. While they were walking, the storm got worse, and Hugh decided to take a shortcut home, across the bridge over the river. As soon as he started to cross the bridge, Shep started barking loudly. Hugh stopped and looked round at Shep, but the dog kept barking furiously. Then Hugh looked down at the bridge.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm Samantha Bailey, and I'm part of the campaign to stop the new hotel in the park.
Stop it!
I think you all know what the plans are. They want to use part of the parkland to build a new hotel so that more tourists will come to the town. We've got too many tourists already, haven't we?
Absolutely!
You all know that 2 hotels have been built here in the last 5 years. When's it going to stop? If they build this hotel, a lot of really nice trees in the park will be cut down to make room for the hotel. And some of the places where children go to play, well, they'll be lost. These developers are going to make a mess of the town. They're only interested in making money. I know what we've been told. Build a new hotel and more jobs will be created. Well, maybe. But why not build the new hotel outside the town? There's a lot of land out there that could be used. Out where the old factory was. It doesn't make sense to build another hotel in the town. We need to do something. Now.
Yeah.
Let's all do our best to keep this town a really nice place. Let's all make a big effort to stop them destroying the town that we want to live in.
My best friend John was the first person I met when I started at my new school. We're in the same class and we sit next to each other. He's a really good friend and he's always there for me when things aren't going well. At the beginning I felt left out because all the other boys in the class are much bigger than me and I'm also the youngest. But John helped me to fit in and now I love school.
I bonded with Julia last year when I went to Spain on holiday. She was with her family in the villa next door to ours. She's 3 years older than me, but that doesn't matter. While we were on holiday, we did everything together. We liked the same clothes and the same music, but not the same boys.
My best friend Mark is easily noticed. He's very good looking. We're best friends because we trust one another. We're both going through difficult times at home, and it's great to know that we can talk about our problems. I always feel good when I'm with him.
At first I didn't like Maria because I thought she was very unfriendly, but then I realised that she was very shy. In fact, although she's very funny and pretty, she finds it difficult to talk to new people. I can't understand it. I love her like a sister, and I hope we'll always be friends.
I can honestly say that my best friend is my brother Tom. He's 2 years younger than me, but we've always had a fantastic relationship. I'm quite quiet, but he's an extrovert. He loves going to parties and having fun, while I prefer to be at home. He's very good for me because he makes me forget myself.
Medical scientists are already putting computer chips directly into the brain to help people who have Parkinson's disease. But in what other ways might computer technology be able to help us? Ray Kurzweil is author of the successful book The Age of Intelligent Machines and is one of the world's best computer research scientists. He is researching the possibilities. Kurzweil gets computers to recognize voices. An example of this is Ramona, the virtual hostess on Kurzweil's homepage, who is programmed to understand what you say. Visitors to the site can have their own conversations with her, and Ramona also dances and sings. Kurzweil uses this technology to help people with physical disabilities. One of his ideas is a seeing machine. This will be like a friend that could describe what is going on in the visible world, he explains. Blind people will use a visual sensor, which will probably be built into a pair of sunglasses. This sensor will describe to the person everything it sees. Another idea, which is likely to help deaf people, is the listening machine. This invention will recognize millions of words and understand any speaker. The listening machine will also be able to translate into other languages, so even people without hearing problems are likely to be interested in using it. But it's not just about helping people with disabilities. Looking further into the future, Kurzweil sees a time when we will be able to download our entire consciousness onto a computer. This technology probably won't be ready for at least 50 years, but when it arrives, it means our minds will be able to live forever.
When two deaf people meet, they communicate with sign language. They sign. But what can you do if you meet someone who is deaf and you don't know how to sign? Well, remember that most deaf people can also lip read. They watch your mouth and see the sounds that you're making. So, when you meet a deaf person and you want to communicate, here are some things to remember. First, make sure that the person is looking at you and you are looking at them. Secondly, don't cover your mouth with your hand. Let the deaf person see your lips move. Thirdly, use your hands. Point with your fingers. Point to yourself and the other person. Make shapes and so on. And lastly, speak a little more slowly and a lot more clearly than you normally speak. Remember that deaf people can lip read, but it helps them if you move your mouth more slowly and clearly.
Hey, Claire, listen to this advertisement. Ambitious young designer with excellent computing skills needed. Salary £1,500 a month. Phone or email for an application form. Oh, sounds brilliant. That's what you've always wanted to do.
Well, I'm not sure, really.
What? But it's always been your dream to become a designer. You should phone them and ask for an application form. And you should fill it in and send your CV. Oh, and tell them about all the courses you've done. Then they'll call you for an interview and you'll get the job.
Grace, can you keep a secret?
Of course.
You know my band? We've got a gig at the ballroom and we're supporting Muse.
You're joking.
No, it's completely true. I promise. That's why I don't want a career as a designer anymore.
But, Claire, you ought to think about your future. You really should think twice.
Well, I am thinking about my future. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing.
You know, I think you'd better talk to Mum and Dad about all this.
Survival is an international organisation which helps endangered tribes. It was founded in 1969 and today has supporters in 82 countries. Here is one of the success stories. The Jarowair are a tribe of 200 to 300 people, and they live on the Andaman Islands in the Indian Ocean. They look very different from their Indian neighbours. Most probably, their closest relatives are African. No one outside the tribe really speaks their language, and so not much is known about them. But we do know how the Jarowair live. They are nomadic people, moving from place to place to find food. They hunt small animals and fish, they find berries, honey, and they are self-sufficient. They do everything themselves. The threats to the Jarowair started in 1970. A road was built through the forest where they live, and the Indian authorities decided to build towns, and settlers were brought from other places to live in them. They also wanted the Jarowair to live in the towns. This policy is called forced settlement, and it has been a disaster for tribal peoples in places all over the world. It's clear why. Because of forced settlement, tribes are no longer self-sufficient, and they can easily get new diseases. A tribe's sense of identity can easily be destroyed. But in the case of the Jarowair, it seems that the fight against these dangers has been successful, thanks to survival and the campaigns that they've organised. For a number of years, Survival asked the Indian government to respect the Jarowa's rights to live on their land. As a result of the campaign, there was a court case, and eventually the authorities closed the road through the Jarowa's land. They also had the settlers removed. Now, Survival is fighting for the Jarowa's right to own their land and to make their own choices about how they live.
Britain has 12 million people under the age of 16, around 20% of the population. If you ask teenagers what they do on a day they enjoy, most say going to the cinema, followed by seeing friends. If you ask what they do on a day they don't enjoy, watching TV is the top answer, although on average 11 to 16-year-olds actually watch 11 hours of TV a week. Internet fans might think British teenagers spend all their time online, but surprisingly, under 10% of 15 to 16-year-olds have the Internet at home, just 1 in 13. However, this number is increasing all the time. 11 to 16-year-olds spend about £12 a week. Girls tend to spend £2 a week more than boys. In the past, this was usually spent on sweets, but now teens are spending most of their money on mobile phone cards. If children are spending so much, that means some of them are working. It's illegal to work if you're under 13, but it is quite common for 10 to 16-year-olds to have some kind of job. 2 million school children with part-time jobs are earning an average of £14 a week. The most common job is babysitting, followed by newspaper rounds. 25% of under-19s are living with just one parent. About 100,000 young people run away from home every year, with up to 350 of them sleeping on the streets of London each night.
There are, however, those who believe that it doesn't really matter what we do to our bodies because, they say, the secret to living a long life is in our genes. Kari Stephenson, a genetics researcher from Iceland, explains.
Here in Iceland, we are very, very interested in our family trees. We have records that go back over 1,000 years to the Vikings. So we looked at records for people who died at 70 years old and compared them to people who lived to be more than 90. And we found that the people who lived longer were much more likely to be closely related to each other. First cousins, uncles, and so on. Now, of course, you could say that maybe these people just lived a healthier life. But, you know, Iceland is a very small country, so people here have a very similar lifestyle. So we analyzed their blood and found that there was one gene that was different, and it seems to help us to live longer. We call it the Methuselah gene, and if we can find out exactly how it works, then we will be able to make drugs that could help us to live a lot longer.
I heard this really, really old story the other day, from the 1940s, I think. It was about this soldier. He'd been in the war somewhere for a long time, and he was coming home, and he was thinking about his old dog and his mother's homemade ice cream. Anyway, when he got home, It was dark and rainy, and when he got off the bus, his dog was there waiting. They started walking home, and they got to a bridge over a road, and the dog started barking to stop the man going onto the bridge, because the bridge was broken. So the dog saved the man's life. When the man got home, he met his mother and father. They hugged, and then the soldier told them about the bridge and the dog. "Oh, no," his mum said. "That's impossible. Your dog died 5 years ago." Sad story, huh?